Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm finally going to be tackling the last extension of the rose garden that I'm doing for this year. As you can see, hopefully behind me over here, we have the legs that I've done the last few years, and I worked up to the corner this spring. I left this section right here, which is going to be the front of the rose garden, alone. I worked on other projects, and now is the time, with it becoming fall, it's getting cooler, today's only supposed to be about 70, to turn around and tackle this section. So all I'm going to do today is clear this section off, pull back the black weed fabric, which I've had down suppressing weeds and grass, etc., tear up some of this grass along the edges, and hopefully get a border put into place so that I can then start developing, filling in the space with fresh compost, and hopefully getting, in the next few weeks, probably the next week or so, I'd like to, my 3 Earth Angel roses planted, and maybe even some shrubbery. So let me stop talking and let's start working. Well, there it is. The bed itself is pretty much clear. And putting down the black plastic, or the black weed cloth in this case, really helps suppress not only the weeds and the grass, but anything that was there, it just rots down, which is fabulous, which means there's more organic material in the soil. Now, I will be adding compost to this. Not a lot, probably another inch, maybe 2, probably an inch. We'll see how things go. But the next thing I need to do is measure out the front of the bed, because the bed is supposed to be 12 feet deep. So I need to measure out exactly where that is, and then I'll start putting in the edging all around. Hopefully you can see that the bamboo stakes that I put in to mark the 12-foot depth of the beds, there's a bit of grass that I didn't cover up with the weed fabric. Now, how I'm going to deal with this grass is I'm simply just going to turn around and cut it back as tight as I can with the weed whacker, and then I'll come back and I'll cover it with cardboard, and that will kill off the grass, and I will just simply put the compost on top of the cardboard, and all that will rot down before I'm ready to plant anything in here, probably next spring maybe. I just have to make a little trench for the edging, and then I'll drop the edging and set that in place, and then I'll do along the entryway edge. Well, here it is. Finally, I've gotten around to taking up that black plastic and putting in the new edging for the rose bed extension. Now, as I stated before, I'm going to cover up the extra grass that was out on the edge here with cardboard, and I'll cover that with compost. It'll all rot down by next spring. This edging will rust up nicely, to match the rest of the edging that I've used throughout the rose garden so far. And the reason I went with this type of edging was to try to give the rose garden a more formal appearance, which was always my intention. And hopefully one day, this will look like a very formal rose garden. It's going to take time. There's still a lot to do. I still have a whole other side plus the back. Now the other side, I'm going to turn around all that black weed cloth that I took up. I'm going to chop down all that tall grass and weeds that are on that side this fall, later this fall, probably early winter, and I'm going to cover it all up with the black weed cloth. And what that'll do is cause everything underneath to rot down over the next couple of years, because I'm thinking not going to do anything to that side next year, but probably the year after. So we got at least one more year before I start tackling the other side. The next steps will be, and I'm not sure when I'm going to do this, probably in the next week, maybe 2 weeks, is to prep the area for the 3 Earth Angel roses. I want to get them in the ground sooner than later so they can start getting a good rooting before we get our first hard freeze. I'm not worried about a light freeze for the rose bushes, more of that first hard freeze, which we may get in end of November, December. Who knows what Mother Nature will throw at us. It may be a very warm winter this year, in which case we may only get light freezes. We'll have to wait and see. So that'll be the next step, is the Earth Angel roses going in. I think I have another shrub, possibly a Japanese holly, that I want to put into this space as well. So it might be Japanese holly and then the 2 Earth Angels. I will be leaving room at the end because my grand dream, and I haven't quite let go of it yet, is to put up a 8-foot wide pergola, arch, trellis, whatever you want to call it, arbor, something along those lines. But I want to have a nice little 8-foot wide, at least 5-foot long tunnel of roses. So I'll have climbing roses going up both sides. I think that would be freaking awesome. Go through a little rose tunnel before you enter into the rose garden itself. You gotta stop covering up the microphone. So that's gonna wrap it up for today. Again, a lot more work to do, but if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Click that bell icon to be notified of when I do post up a new video, because there will be more work going on here in the rose garden in the upcoming weeks. I made a bit of a mess today, which again, I still have to clean up a little bit more. There's more mulch to go down. There's more compost to go down. There's more shrubbery to be planted. So there's more coming on, and that's just in the rose garden. Over in the veg garden, there's a few things going on, and I have yet to plant my garlic, which I probably won't do until probably the 1st or 2nd week in November. We'll have to see how the temperature goes. The flower beds, I'll have to be cutting out a lot of that stuff. And I greatly expanded my flower beds this year. Again, if you've been watching the channel, you know, there's a lot of work coming up in the next few months. So thank you all for watching. Thank you for the new subscribers. My name is Jason. This is Sophie, and we're going to catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.